Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of, I guess we'll call Downtime with the Ever Sidequesters here. As you have probably seen in past episodes or listened, as this will generally be more of a podcast episode, we have been creating new characters for a few of my players here for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. As, you know, one wanted to test out something, one it was getting a little too overstimulated with all the learning everything, and then now we have our third player here switching out characters and trying out something new. So Mike, tell me, what have you thought about playing the champion? What did you like about it? What did you not like? And why are you switching to a new character for the Abomination Vaults?
All right, so as for Blank, the champion I played, I actually liked playing as him. It was very limited in what actually his capabilities were in combat. It was very like one-sided, like, oh, you shout at things and then you block attacks and maybe you swing one or two times. But again, that's at lower levels. That's not, given for later levels. And I was also, a little concerned by the lack of any sort of spell casting or I would say magical defensive capabilities, really.
Mm-hmm.
Was that you would expect from Paladin, like at level, or when I got the feat for giving out that aura, that seemed more like in line with Paladin, but again, it was just lacking in other areas. But at this point, I think in D&D, like, Paladins weren't getting levels at spell 1 or spells at level 1 anymore. So
yeah, I know with 1D&D, they were basically giving everyone spells that could cast, but I don't think you got, with Paladins, I don't think they got an aura until at least level 3, right? Or a little later? From what I recall, anyway.
In 2nd edition, I think that they had like a courage aura at level 1, which gave not advantage, but I think it was like a +1 on fear checks.
Okay. Yeah, let me see here. I'm looking at the 5.
I'm not 100% certain on that. But again, 2nd edition Pathfinder is based more off of 3rd edition
right.
D&D.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It looks like 5th edition Paladins didn't get an aura until 6th level. I don't know how they're changing that for 1D&D or the new D&D 5th edition, whatever they're going to call that. As I have lost interest over the last few months, as many others have, I'm sure.
Yeah, that one game that people would play, they had a couple movies and shows and stuff about it. Very popular in media, and then, I don't know, it just disappeared.
Right? So then, now that you've had a chance to dabble with the champion, aka the Paladin for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, what class are you going to next? What are you deciding on here?
Honestly, like, through all of my gaming in pen and paper games, I've never actually played a bard.
Yes, that is true. I mean, we had you playing the bard for a little bit there with the 1D&D playtest that we were doing for a little while. Then we abandoned.
That's right.
But so yeah,
no, that wasn't a bard.
No, it wasn't.
Nope. Oh, that was Maxwell, my sorcerer.
Wait a minute. I thought you weren't you playing a bard? I thought you were playing a bard in that one. In our 1D&D playtest.
Nope.
Weird. Okay, I got confused. Huh. Anyways,
it was either playing my bard or human fighter, just because, haha.
Right. Turns out if you actually went human fighter, you'd probably be destroying everything in this game. I've heard.
Pathfinder, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard they are just machines in 2nd edition here. Well then, since we are having you try out the bard for your class here in Pathfinder 2nd edition, I've gone ahead and already got you a new character sheet. So if you go to your character tab and or the actors tab or whatever it's called, you should see a new one that just says bard.
Man, you know that when we both get like the same campaign book, I'm the one reading ahead. I've already got the bard opened up.
Oh, good. Excellent. All right then. So, shall we start with our ABCs and get you going here?
Sure.
All right. So, I know you initially had the idea of going with the sprite ancestry, but you decided to change that since it wasn't exactly working out the way you wanted to.
Yeah, I was reading up on it, and I want to be able to ride the corgi, but I also don't want to be a tiny race.
Right.
Although, honestly, being able to ride on someone else's shoulder and blast enemies with spells at the same time sounds pretty cool, but...
Yeah, I did see that because they were tiny, they actually had a 20-foot speed, which was one of the few races or ancestries, that I've seen here with a lower starting speed. And it just boggles my mind having to go from playing 5th edition so long and 30-foot movement. Now everyone has 25 as their maximum movement. I'm like, why? What's the point of that? But I'm sure they have reasonings for reducing feet by, the max feet movement there by 5 feet. So what are you deciding now for your ancestry here, for your bard class?
I'm going to go for a bit of the Doot Doot and play skeleton.
All right. So then let's go ahead and take a look.
Some skilly fun.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and click the plus button there and go ahead and pick your skeleton heritage. I'm sure Herr Doctor will have some fun with that one now that he's been throwing that in the Discord there.
It is locked.
Oh, why is it locked? It should be, you should have ownership to that.
It says Ancestries locked.
Ancestries are locked?
I mean, when I open up the Ancestries tab at the top on the left, it says Ancestries, and then in brackets it says locked. Let me close and reopen it. It could be that you gave me permission when I had it opened and it didn't update.
That's strange.
Nope, still locked.
Go ahead and refresh Foundry here. So hit the escape button a couple times until you get that little pop-up. And then see if the skeleton, if you're able to click on that little plus button on your character tab.
Yep, just waiting for reload.
Yeah, I was talking to Eric when he was creating Grawler, and he goes, I don't know, man, I got inspired and went all the way to level 20 with it. And I started thinking about it and talking with him after doing some reading. I go, that's probably not a terrible idea, honestly, to kind of plan out the characters, because a lot of those later level feats really require planning to get to, especially if you have an idea. So kind of looking at everything that's available will give you a really great way to streamline your character. I know I was watching one of No Nat 1's videos on the Alchemist, because for some reason the Alchemist is a class I'm interested in trying out, and it appears that there are like 3 general ways you could go with the Alchemist if you kind of focus on those only. And it's kind of like a healing Alchemist, I think, a poisoner, and then like an explosion or debuffing Alchemist, and then explosions and whatnot. So planning the character seems to be a pretty good thing to do, a la, D&D 3.5 and whatnot, where all this stems from. Any luck with your ancestry there?
Okay, so yeah, it's working now. There we go.
All right, excellent. So then, let's take a look at your potential, what is it, the heritages or something that you could pick for being a skeleton? What have we got here? Compact skeleton, fodder, monstrous, or sturdy, it looks like. And let's see here. For the compact, the main things are that tasks that require a lighter touch, like gnomes, goblins, and halflings, remains are more suitable than a larger creature. These smaller, nimbler skeletons fit well in a traveling chest, can be forced through tight spaces, and more easily avoid detection. Your size is small instead of medium. You gain the quick squeeze feat, even if you aren't trained in acrobatics. Tight spaces not tight enough to require the squeeze activity aren't difficult terrain for you. So that's kind of fun. Then there's the fodder skeleton. These are basically human or humanoid, standard medium size. Favored materials of necromancers. They are readily available, and their physiology has been studied the most extensively. So these skeletons can be easily mass-produced. Despite their name, fodder skeletons make rather mobile foot soldiers due to how efficiently they transfer necrotic energy within their bodies. You have a base speed of 30 feet instead of 25, so you could get 5 extra feet of movement and go to that regular 30, like we were talking about moments ago.
Yep.
You could go with monstrous, and let's see here. For the monstrous skeleton, inhuman skeletons are often created for both their deadly physical attacks and their terrifying appearance. Beasts and monstrous humanoids with the strangest skeletons tend to be the centerpiece of the collection of a necromancer skilled enough to raise one. You gain a claw, horn, tail, or wing unarmed attack that deals 1d6 damage. A claw dealing slashing damage, a horn dealing piercing, so on and so forth. This unarmed attack is the brawling group and has the finesse and unarmed traits. And then lastly, the sturdy skeleton is a certain hazardous conditions are not suitable for the average skeleton, so a necromancer might choose to reanimate the bones of a dwarf, orc, or other creature with a reputation for sturdiness. You have 10 hit points instead of 6 and gain the Die Hard feat. So that will give you an extra dying marker. Instead of 4, you'll have dying 5, which means you can, be knocked out a couple more times. And I believe Grawler has that in part of his feat for being like the what type of orc was he? The Hold Scarred orc, I think? Or maybe the Fury Barbarian?
Right. Yeah, I think he was Fury Barbarian.
Yeah. So the question is, do you want to be smaller and be able to squeeze through things? Do you want to have an extra movement? Do you want to have a special attack? Or do you want to have more hit points and be able to not die as easily?
Well, I'm going to be playing a bard, so I plan on being annoying, so... Sturdy.
Okay, so you're going to get 10 extra hit points and the Die Hard feat. So let's take a look at your feat section.
I think I start with a base of 10 instead of just getting the 6, because normally skeletons get 6.
Yes. Yeah, your sturdy skeleton gives you the base 10 instead of 6. So yeah, you have 4 extra hit points to start with, and then you also have the Die Hard feat. So now you have 5 on your dying section in the upper left corner, just under your hit points there, instead of 4. So yes, definitely will help with the whole being annoying part. All right, now let's take a look at your ability score boosts. So if we hit that edit button, as you're already doing, you have the option to go with the standard skeleton, or you could go with the non-flaws and go for the alternate boosts. So what would you like to do? Do you want to go with the flaw, or do you want to take the non-flaw version?
What's the non-flaw version?
The non-flaw version gives you a choice of any 2 boosts, but that's all you get. You get 2 boosts, no flaws, and you don't get a third boost. So for instance, in the standard version for the skeleton, you'll get dexterity, charisma, and a free one, but then you also get a flaw in intelligence.
Yeah, I'll keep it as it is.
All right, then. So be it. Let's see here. Is there anything else we need to know about for the time being? So we got that all sorted out. You've got your boost in dex, charisma. Oh, you get one more to choose from for skeleton. So strength, constitution, or wisdom. Or you could alternately also give it into intelligence to negate the flaw, which is kind of silly.
Yeah, I'm not going to negate the flaw. I'll take it in constitution.
Okay.
Sorry, got to go back to editing that.
Yep, not a problem. There you go, perfect. All right, so we'll close that out for now. And then let's see, what else do we have here? You have the common language and necro language, so we have those already set in there. Your movement speed is 25, which I can never remember where the movement is on this sheet. I don't see it right now, but that should be fine. I'm sure it's there somewhere. Oh, yeah, I see it now. Yeah, it's right next to the size. Derp.
Yep.
And undeath. You have the basic undead benefits found on page 44. Your undead hunger. You don't eat flesh like ghouls or drink blood like vampires, but you do collect bones you can use to help yourself mend. Okay.
Get your calcium, kids.
Oh, no.
That's going to be the hard part of role-playing this guy, is speaking without lips.
Right? Oh, man.
It's going to be really hard to do, you know that?
Yeah. Oh, who was that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know exactly who I'm talking about from the SNL? Yep. Or
No, not SNL, Kids in the Hall.
Kids in the Hall, yes, thank you. Yep, there you go. Yes. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. What the hell was that character's name?
It was like he was like the rumor monger of the stars, and it was
Yep. Yeah.
I can't even remember the actor's name.
He did it was the same guy that did
Scott Thompson.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That Kids in the Hall. So funny. Okay, so that should be everything for your ancestry. Did you pick a background? Do you have a background picked for?
See, that changing to skeleton from pixie is what's kind of killing me right now.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say cursed.
Cursed, huh? Let's take a look at that. Okay, so the cursed background. You are the victim of a personal or hereditary curse. Through great effort and occult study, you have learned to fend off the curse's worst effects and, by extension, you can protect yourself against other harmful magic. However, the curse still hangs over you and sometimes manifests in dangerous ways. This is also a rare background.
Oh, never mind.
It's fine. I don't care about the rarities. This actually might be able to play in to the Abomination Vaults as well. So this could be an interesting way to tie your character in here. Choose 2 ability boosts. One must be intelligence or charisma, and one is a free ability boost. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. If you go ahead and select cursed, that's fine.
All right.
All right. So first off, choose intelligence or charisma. I'm guessing bards are charisma based, right? Or are they based with something else for their class? Let's see here.
I want to say it's based on the class, but I'm not entirely certain.
I'm trying to see here where their key attribute might be. Oh, okay. At first level, your class gives you an ability boost to charisma. So yeah, I'm guessing charisma is going to be your key feature here for bard. Oh yeah, obviously I'm looking at it. All right, so we have a boost to constitution and charisma. Okay, excellent.
Yep. Should I just go ahead and do the other 4 boosts for level 1?
Yeah, now that you've got the other ones taken care of, if you want to, go right ahead.
I mean, obviously charisma.
Yep. Get that boosted all the way up to 18. Nice.
I guess we'll get some strength.
Okay.
Not having wisdom has been detrimental to me in the past.
So, right. So where are you going with that last one? You got 1 more point.
Dex it is.
Okay. Not bad. Yeah, that'll help with reflexes. For your reflex saves, you have your fortitude saves at a 14 as well, and your wisdom for your will saves. That's pretty good. Charisma boost will definitely be good for the character itself. Intelligence, skeleton, perfectly fine.
Yeah. Ain't nothing in there anyways.
Right. And a 12 for any kind of melee you might want to do if that ever comes up. All right, so
sometimes I open the secret compartment on the side of my head and I put jewels in there so it rattles around. Like maracas.
Nice. All right, so we have, let's see here. Let's take a look real quick at your feat section because there's a spot open here for the ancestry feat for being a skeleton.
Hey, since I'm a skeleton, can I have 4 feet?
What do you mean?
I want more feet.
But no, you only get 2 feet. Let's see here. Oh, they
cut
never...
me down.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. They never show. Oh, there we go. Show feats.
Did I pick my muse yet, or I don't remember if I did or not. I did not.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So you have the option for 4 feats for being a skeleton. You have the one called As in Life, So in Death. You have Collapse, Play Dead, or Undead Empathy. So those are your 4 ancestries that you could pick.
Yeah, Hair Doctor was telling me about As in Life, So in Death. I guess it helps you. Makes you appear more human or whatever.
Yeah,
it helps with this guy's checks.
Okay. Let's see here. Specific memories of your old life are hard to hold on to, but you know things without remembering why. You gain the Adopted Ancestry feat. You can choose any ancestry, but it is likely to be one that matches both your skeleton heritage and who you were in a life. As long as your body is completely covered by armor or clothing, you do not have to attempt deception checks against a creature's perception DC to successfully impersonate yourself as a member of that ancestry. This is non-magical. This is a non-magical disguise that doesn't protect against divination. The disguise doesn't provide any benefits against a creature actively attempting a perception check against you. This is that. Then you have Collapse. You collapse into a pile of bones, mitigating the worst of the damage you would have taken, and the triggering attack deals only the amount it would deal on a hit, typically full damage instead of double damage. Any other effects caused by a critical hit still occur. While collapsed, you're flat-footed and can't act except to stand, which reforms you into a skeleton in a standing position. To me, that's really, really funny. Just thinking about that, it's like typical.
Oh yeah, like EverQuest skeleton when they collapse in the pile of bones, then pop right back up and attack you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Then there's Play Dead. You lie prone and pretend to be an ordinary skeleton.
Shh, I'm just a skeleton, you guys. Keep going.
holding a trumpet. Doot doot.
And really well dressed in clothes that did not deteriorate at all.
Right? As long as you don't move or take any actions requiring anything other than your mind, you appear dead. To see through your ruse, other creatures must succeed at a check against your deception DC, either by seeking or recalling knowledge, typically using religion or an appropriate lore skill. This ability doesn't work against creatures that already know you're an animate undead unless you have changed your appearance. So that one can help you play dead. And then undead empathy, more than likely, yeah, this is, okay, what I expected. Your relationship with undead gives you a stronger bond with other undead. You can use diplomacy to make an impression on mindless undead or make simple requests of them. As long as there aren't living creatures nearby, they usually let you speak. If the undead creature currently is in the thrall of a creature whose level is higher than yours, you typically need a critical success on your diplomacy skill check. So the question is then, do you want to be able to go into towns without people freaking out that you're an undead skeleton? Do you want to avoid damage with a collapse? Do you want to be able to play dead? Or do you want to be able to speak with the undead?
I mean, don't get me wrong. The being able to walk into towns sounds great. But I mean, I'm going to be traveling with a party of monsters anyway, so an undead traveling with them might not be so far out.
Right. Yeah. Perhaps. Walking around with 2 orcs and a kobold and then a skeleton, that's going to be an interesting group dynamic right there.
Yeah, we'll just form Mecha Shiva.
Oh, Mecha Shiva. So what do you think? What ancestry are you going for? What ancestry feat seems appealing?
So basically, collapse makes me drop prone, but protects me from a critical hit.
Yes.
I thought undead were immune to critical hits.
Well, you are playing an ancestry, so there might be special rules for player skeleton players.
You know what? I'll just stick with as in life, so in death, because at least, maybe potentially in human towns, I can infiltrate, if there are any.
Okay. So then you just need to figure out what your adopted ancestry is that goes along with being a sturdy skeleton. So something along those lines. Ironically enough, maybe you were a former orc. And now you're just the skeleton remains of an orc. I don't know. That's something for you to work out.
I was going to say, how do I pick it? Do I?
I think it's just something you decide on. Because now that you have as in life, so in death, if you click on adopted ancestry, yeah, it's just something you choose from a common ancestry. Let's see here. You're fully immersed in another ancestry's culture and tradition. Whenever born in them, earned through the rite or passage, or bonded through a deep friendship or romance. Choose a common ancestry. You can select ancestry feats from the ancestry you choose. In addition, your character's own ancestry, as long as the ancestry feats don't require any physiological features that you lack, as determined by the GM. So yeah, you just got to kind of figure out what adopted ancestry you'll have now that you're a skeleton.
Sprite.
Right?
Just a pair of skeletal wings on my back, just tiny as hell.
Oh god, that'd be really funny. That'd be hilarious.
How would I select that though? Because would that impact my further ancestry feats?
At the moment, I don't know. I will look into that to figure out how you might select that for part of your character there for the adopted ancestry. But beyond that, since there's no spot to select that, I think it's just something you know about yourself, like you would write into your backstory or something, the biography. I'm not entirely sure.
All
right, so let's take a look at the last couple things for being a cursed skeleton. You are trained in occultism and curse lore. That could be pretty handy. Let's see here. Skills. Proficiency. There we go. Okay, so you have your trained in occultism, and then we'll go ahead and add in the curse lore to the lore skills section.
So would that be +3? Or no, that'd be intelligence.
Just go ahead and hit the trained over on the side there. There you go. So you have a +2 in curse lore. And then, let's see here. You gain the warding sign reaction. So let's take a look at your... Okay, you already have the warding sign reaction.
Nice.
What does that do? Trigger. You attempt a saving throw against a magical effect, but you haven't rolled yet. Effect. You call on the power of a personal eldritch sign of protection. Which flares brightly before slowly fading. You gain a +2 circumstance bonus to the triggering saving throw, or a +3 circumstance bonus if the effect is a curse. Okay, that's good to know. You definitely want to remember that.
Right.
And you have a frequency of once per minute, so basically once per battle you can do that. All right.
Sounds about right.
And then let's see here. You and the GM should determine the full effects of the curse. Though you've staved most of them off for now, the GM determines the curse's lingering manifestations on you, which usually includes at least a constant or very frequent thematic effect that occasionally more thematic effect and occasional more dangerous effects. Okay, that'll be interesting. I'll have to look into that. And then, yeah, we have the warding sign. Which was
Okay, a
already taken care of.
thematic event. Sometimes it unfortunately blows my cover, like blows a hood off my head or something like that.
Oh yeah, just a strong wind. Always
Son of a... At the worst possible time.
Right? I have to trying to remember to do that every so often is going to be a challenge. All right, let's go ahead and look at your Bard class. All right, so for first level, you get all your initial proficiencies. You're expert in perception, which it already gave it to you. Your saving throws are going to be trained in fortitude and reflex. You have those. And expert in will. Excellent. Great. Skills. You are trained in occultism and performance. So let's go back to that.
So I was going to say those were already granted by, or occultism was already granted by the curse background, right?
Right. Okay, so then go ahead and pick another one. Now,
I'm going to have to go with deception just for keeping up with hiding my appearance.
Right. Yeah, that would definitely be something you would want to have for sure. Okay, so that should give you everything there. You won't get any more additional skills or languages because your intelligence isn't high enough for it. And you have trained in simple weapons. Let's see here. Trained in longsword, rapier, sap, shortbow, short sword, and whip, which it's already thrown all of those in there for you. You also have trained in light armor and unarmored defense.
Yep, and unarmed attack as well, right? You said that?
Unarmed. Yes, you have trained in unarmed attack. Yeah, I forgot to go over that one. And then your spells. You're trained in occult spell attacks and occult spell DC for your spellcasting section.
Oh, next.
Yeah. All right, so initial proficiencies. Occult spellcasting. You draw upon magic from the esoteric knowledge. You can cast occult spells using a cast a spell activity. And you can supply material, somatic, and verbal components when casting spells. Because you're a bard, you can usually play an instrument for spells requiring somatic and material components, as long as it takes at least one of your hands to do so. If you use an instrument, you'll need a spell component pouch or another free hand. You can usually also play an instrument for spells requiring verbal components instead of speaking. Each day, you can cast up to 2 first-level spells. You must know spells to cast them, and you learn them via the Spell Repertoire class feature. The number of spells you can cast each day is called your spell slots. Okay.
All right, so do you want me to create innate spellcasting?
Let's see here.
Or no, it wouldn't be. It would be prepared, right?
Yeah, I think you're a prepared caster. Let's see here.
But it's not flexible casting, so...
As you increase in level as a bard, your number of spells per day increases, as does the highest level spell you can cast, as shown in table 3.6, bards casting per day. Okay. Yeah, so you'll have 5 cantrips and 2 spells. Let's continue on this, because we had that issue with Sean and Crunk there not having all of the spells available that he should have, sadly.
Right, so I will create the spellcasting entry.
Go ahead.
All right.
So yeah, you'll have 5 cantrips and 2 first level spells. Some of your spells require you to attempt a spell attack roll to see how effective they are, or have your enemies roll against your spells, typically by attempting a saving throw. Since your key ability is Charisma, your spell attack rolls and spell DCs use your Charisma modifier. Details on calculating these statistics are on page 447. Okay, so yeah, it looks like it gave you the proper modifiers there for your spell DC and to roll.
Yep.
Now, why is it saying Arcane?
Oh, what was it supposed to be? Sorry, I was the one that created it. Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I'll clear that out and start again.
Yeah, no worries.
All right.
There we go. That's better. Heightened spells and cantrips, we know about that. Let's see here. Spell repertoire. The collection of spells you can cast is called your spell repertoire. At first level, you learn 2 first level occult spells of your choice and 5 occult cantrips of your choice. You choose these from the common spells from the occult list, or from other occult spells to which you have access. You can cast any spell in your spell repertoire by using a spell slot of the appropriate spell level. You add to this spell repertoire as you increase in level. Each time you get a spell slot, you add a spell to your spell repertoire of the same level. At second level, you select another first level spell. At third level, you select 2 second level spells. All right, so unlike druids and clerics, you have a very limited number of spells. So I think this is very similar to going back to like 5e and probably even 3rd edition, which I don't remember very well.
Oh god, all the way back to 2nd edition, or even first.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, I would say 2nd edition was the first with limited spells per day.
Okay. So yeah, you're only going to have two spells for first level, so you'll have to be very precise on what you pick, and for your cantrips as well, since you won't be able to change those out. Let's see here. When you add spells, you might add a higher level version of a spell you already have, so you can cast a heightened version of that spell. Though you gain them at the same rate, your spell slots and spells in your spell repertoire are separate. If a feat or other ability adds a spell to your repertoire, it wouldn't give you another spell slot, and vice versa. Swapping spells in your repertoire. As you gain new levels in your repertoire, you might want to replace some of the spells you previously learned. Each time you gain a level and learn new spells, you can swap out one of your old spells for a different one of the same level. This spell can be a cantrip. You can also swap out spells by retraining during downtime. Okay, so that's what I thought. It's just like Rangers, and when I played a Ranger in 5th edition. You'll have a very limited number of spells, but you can swap them out as you level up, which is good.
All right. I'm looking at the spells right now. Should I start with cantrips? And just keep them all occult, right?
Yeah, they're going to have to all be occult based, so you'll be able to filter through those.
All right. Do you have any limitations on what spell or what? Because there's a lot coming up for occult cantrips.
Just filter in common. So go down towards the bottom and go to rarity, and then click on common.
All right.
And then you were picking cantrips, right?
Yep.
So yeah, you'll have this short list here of from approximate to wash your luck. And you can pick 5 of those to throw into your spell repertoire.
You know what? I'm going to start with wash your luck as one of them, because, that's supposed to be one of the ways in which... I probably want something attack.
Yeah, attack cantrip would be really good. We had to take a quick break there. I had a phone call to jump on and take care of a couple things. So while we were doing that, Mike got ahead and picked a few of his cantrips. So we got Wash Your Luck, Time Sense, Musical Accompaniment, and Summon Instrument so far. So now we're looking for an attack-related cantrip.
And I done goofed and closed it accidentally, so I gotta restart.
Oh, no.
I mean, I still have the other 3 spells queued up. I just, here, let me just go ahead. Just in case it closes these.
Okay.
And let me start this again.
So obviously, Summon Instrument will give you a handheld instrument, which is nice. Why is it multiple Oh no, it takes all 3 actions to summon
Yep.
it. Okay. I was like, wait, why can you choose? It didn't make any sense. That's funny though.
Because I'm pretty sure like the best thing for this is like I don't actually need the instrument to summon it, but like let's say I ever get separated from my equipment, I can materialize one on me.
Yeah. Now, this is something I still have yet to figure out quite exactly. It says cast time 3. Does that just mean it takes the 3 actions to cast it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Cast
basically
time
my
2.
entire turn to summon the instrument.
Okay. It's so weird that they add in that little modifier. Like, it's a cantrip, it's a conjuration, it's a cult, and then it also says like all these other things, but then they also throw in cast time 3. I'm like, that confused me for a minute or two. Okay, that's a cool cantrip. We got musical accompaniment. You're surrounded by orchestral music that shifts and changes to match your behavior. This music provides a +1 status bonus to performance checks. At the GM's discretion, it provides this bonus to deceptions, diplomacy, and intimidation checks as the music changes to support you in social situations. Though some creatures are unaffected by such obvious attempts to use music to elicit specific emotions, the music moves with you and has a maximum volume equal to 4 humans shouting. You take a -4 penalty to stealth checks while the music is playing. So this is your own personal background music, basically, that will change and shift as you dramatize yourself. Dude, this is hilarious. I love this spell.
At 5th level, though, it's all Star Wars Cantina music.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, my God.
24 hours of it.
The duration is increased to 24 hours. Oh, that's hilarious. I love it. Oh, man, that's so funny.
And I'm pretty sure that actually for, I meant to go back and let you know about this because I was reading into it. I'm pretty sure that for, which was it? My muse, I had picked the warrior, and that's why I got those bonus proficiencies and weapons and stuff.
Yeah, I was going to ask what you picked for your muse there. And what did you pick?
The warrior.
Oh, the warrior. Okay. So let's take a look at that real quick.
Like, I'm not sure. I don't think it let me actually pick it, though, is the problem.
Let's go here and see. Yeah, I don't know where where the thing for that being picked is on your character sheet. That's still one thing I've not quite figured out.
Yeah, it's saying that I gained the martial performance feat, which I figured it would have gone either under class or even general feats, but it didn't. And it adds fear to my spell repertoire. So does that count as a bonus spell towards my 2?
I'm not sure. Let me see real quick here, because I see your muses thing is here, but it hasn't shown that you've picked one of them yet in your feats section.
But based on the weapon feats I already have, I'm assuming that it gave me warrior, because that's why I have like the martial the bardic weapon expertise.
Let me see here.
Oh no, okay, never mind. No, because this one trains me with all martial weapons.
Yeah, I'm still seeing martial weapons untrained at the moment.
All right, so it didn't give me that, but
yeah, you have to pick. I don't know where you add in the muse for your bard on your character sheet to help add that in. That's the only thing I don't know how to do.
I'm not seeing any section for that. Unless that is a feat that needs to be added. But I'm not seeing where it would go.
Let me see here. Yeah, because like, I don't know how Eric did it. You might want to ask Eric what he did, because for his instinct, he picked Fury Instinct, which is what he wanted. He's a Fury barbarian. I still don't remember where or how he selected that in the first place, unless you go and click your muse. So let's see here. We'll go to our feat section and click on warrior. Now that just brings it up.
Yeah. Hang on, let me hey,
okay.
It just popped up.
Yeah, I dragged it from the muse onto your character, and it gave you what you needed for being a warrior.
Okay.
Now I don't know if that was exactly how it was supposed to happen, but it worked. So now you have the warrior muse.
Just gonna check my feats real quick. or my proficiencies.
Let's see here.
It
If
did
you're
not give me the proficiencies.
Yeah, it didn't work out properly. Let's see here.
So I'm going to give myself trained in martial, but then expert in longsword, rapier. What else was it? Whip.
If your muse is a deity, it might be Gorum. As a bard with a warrior muse, you train for battle in addition to performance. As you prepare your allies for the dangers of battle, you might even wade into the thick of things with them. You gain the martial performance feat, which it did give you.
Yep.
And adds fear to your spell repertoire. So, did you get fear or not in your spell repertoire? Let's take a look at that real quick.
I do not see it in my available spells.
Okay. So just make sure you add fear into your prepared spells book.
All right.
So the
So
spell.
I just want to make sure I get the rest of the proficiencies as well.
Yep. So martial performance. Your muse has taught you how to handle a wider variety of weapons than most bards, empowering you to effortlessly blend your performance into combat with the most inelegant tools. You become trained with all martial weapons. All right. So that's easy enough. You just go to martial weapons. Yeah, you gave yourself trained.
Sorry, I don't think that I actually get expert in those just yet. I think I need bardic weapon expertise, if I'm reading correctly. So I just went back and changed all those that I put to expert back to trained.
Right, yeah. If you gain the Bard Weapon Expertise class feature, your proficiency rank with martial weapons increases to expert. Yeah, so that'll be something you gain later on, probably at level 2 or higher.
All right.
All right, so I think all that's left technically is to pick your muse and your last couple spells, and then getting the equipment, and that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, so you just have to pick, you'll get your fear. Let's see here. First level common. Go ahead and drop that in there for you.
Thank you.
All right, and then, yeah, you get to choose 2 more spells from all the common first level occult spells, which there's a lot. So we'll do that off air or off the podcast, so that way we don't have to sit here and with a lot of dead space as you choose and try to pick from this massive list of spells and only pick 2 of them.
From common first level occult?
Yes.
It's only like maybe 18, I'd say. 20 maybe.
Oh, I'm seeing much more than that. I'm seeing like maybe upwards of 30, I think.
You picked common, right?
Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, there's like 40 spells here. It goes from all the way to agitate down to ventriloquism. So yeah, there's like 40 spells.
Oh, because I have them selected as cantrip.
Yeah, there you go.
That works.
Yep.
That's why it's looking different. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah, we'll do that. I'll let you do that later on here. So let's see here. Yeah, so I guess that's it pretty much. We got your character all worked out. All you got to do now is to pick your 2 more spells. You have 15 gold to buy stuff with, and then just figuring out what your muse is, what your warrior muse will be. And you're pretty much done.
All
and
right.
then also a name. Do you have a name picked out?
Ugh.
That's the hardest
And you know
one.
me in names.
It's where we go to fantasynamegenerator.com. I wonder if they have
Can I just leave it blank again?
We already have blank. Unless blank died and became a skeleton. Unfortunately. Let's see.
Really quick it happened.
Oh, jeez. It's just terrible. Jumped by a bunch of kobolds on his way out. Let's see here. I'm going to bring up the fantasy name generator website. Hopefully it's... my computer's bugging out here. Uh-oh.
It's a kitty.
Oh, you got Kitty?
Mm-hmm. And she's knocking everything over, jumping up on the table. She is still an absolute unit.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's not as big as she was, but that's probably just age catching up with her, honestly.
Yeah. They do have a skeleton name generator for Pathfinder.
Oh, no.
Yes, from fantasynamegenerators.com. And let's see here. So the very first name is Qualified Departure. Then they got Mace Fodder, Clanker Rib, Flail Trick, Clanker's Skull, Arrow Snare, Shatter Skull, Jangle Ribs, and then we got Bidden Fatality and Sickle Swerver. Those are the first 10 that came up.
I got it.
What do you got?
His name is Xylo for short.
Yeah, there you go.
Xylo Bones.
Yes, nice. All right, go ahead and pop that up there. So we now officially have Xylo Bones. Excellent.
There we go.
Love
I'm
it.
still checking out the spells. I'm liking Phantom Pain. I like these spells with the secondary effects.
Yes. Oh, sure.
And then, probably something to help with the sneaky sneakies.
Yeah, let's take a look at that one. Actually, I want to take a look at some of these other spells that you picked, like Time Sense. You get a perfect sense of time. You learn exactly what time it. Oh man, this is basically the feat there from 5e that just lets you know the exact date and time of everything, huh?
Yep. Except there's also a little bonus later on if you keep reading.
You can get a +1 status bonus to one attack roll, perception check, saving throw, or skill check you take on the same turn you cast the spell, the Time Sense. That requires extremely precise timing. If you choose to gain this bonus, you can't gain it again for 1 hour. Okay, that's pretty neat. I like that.
I mean, it's not exactly True Strike, but it's also like more utility useful than True Strike is.
Sure, yeah, exactly. Wash your luck. What's this one? Some practitioners argue the spell literally washes your fortunes of all influences, malign or benign, while others claim it simply cleanses your mind of obsessions about luck and destiny. You adjust your garments, change the posture of your chair, fidget with a religious symbol, or make some other innocuous and personality significance action to wash any bad luck. Once during the spell's duration, before rolling a check, you can cancel out a misfortune effect on that roll. As normal, when a fortune or misfortune effect apply to the same roll, after canceling out the misfortune effect, the spell ends, and you are then temporarily immune to wash your luck for 10 minutes.
So it will not let me add fear to my spells.
Really?
It's only giving me the 2 slots.
Well, right. You're only allowed 2 slots per day. You'll have 3 options because you were given the option for fear. So you have a choice of fear, phantom pain, and ill omen every day to cast these first level spells.
Right, but it's in my spell repertoire still, though, right?
Yes, you'll always have fear, but depending on the day and the outcome, you might want to swap out. And here's the other thing too, like, you're only going to be able to cast Phantom Pain once the entire day because you will have Ill Omen in your second slot. So if for some reason you think you need 2 Phantom Pains, you're going to have to put both Phantom Pains in there, and then you won't be able to use any of the other 3 spells you have. Vice versa. Like you could go with, Fear twice for the day or something. So it's a little annoying, but that's the problem with being a prepared spellcaster. The spontaneous casters like Sorcerer and I don't know what other ones there are besides Sorcerer. They can just choose whatever spell slot. So that's the one thing I like about these Sorcerers versus 5e Sorcerers, because these Sorcerers here in Pathfinder still get like meta magics too, from what I understand, if I remember properly.
Oh yeah, like with the spellcasting modifiers for the sorcery points.
Yeah, I think they still have those in 2nd edition here.
That's not bad.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. I think that's pretty good.
Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good about spells then, where they are.
All right, cool. So then we have all of your feats worked out. We got the warrior in there with the martial performance. We still should look into getting that properly attached to muses instead of it being a thing on its own. I don't know why it's not attached to the muse. Might have to check in with Eric or one of the other guys to see, like, hey, how do we pick the secondary things? Because, like I said, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know how you picked that.
I think that's exactly how it happened. Just click and drag.
Okay.
Because Eric's isn't attached to his thing like either, is it?
No, it is. It's a tabbed. So his Fury Instinct is tabbed underneath Instinct, and I don't know how he did that. So I'm gonna have to figure that one out of how that gets in there like that to have it properly attached to your character. I'm sure someone in the comments is like, "This is how you do it." I'm like, "Well, cool. Tell me, and I'll fix it." Being a noob with these game systems is fantastic.
It's honestly kind of like relaxing to try to learn everything all over again.
It is. I'm definitely enjoying that aspect of it.
Trying to figure out like playing second edition for the very first time, and everybody makes characters that are so wrong when you realize it.
Right?
Yeah, I have 370 proficiency points. How?
Exactly. What did you do? All right, so I think we're going to end the podcast episode here. You still have your 15 gold to purchase stuff with, but that's something we don't have to do right now. We have everything we need for Xylo Bones, which is fantastic. I love the pun. It is going to be so much fun when everyone else gets to see this. Don't forget to let Hair Doctor know if you want to talk to him about having him design your character token and whatnot in the artwork.
All right.
And so that's our third and final member for the Abominations Vaults. Anything else you want to add about your character or going forward, Mike?
I'm looking forward to playing a bard for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I played a little bit of a bard in 5th edition, as remember, with my Dark Elf. So it'll be fun to see how this bard compares to what I vaguely remember of the 5e bard. And we'll see how that goes. I've already started reading into the Abomination Vaults, and I have an idea of like what's supposed to happen. So this will be interesting. We will take that extra day coming up on Tuesday to get everyone acquainted with what's going on, some disclaimers that the Paizo has for the game, and make any adjustments as needed. All right? All right, so we'll say goodbye to everyone here on the podcast. Thank you all so much for listening or watching this, however you did. We appreciate it, and thank you so much. And we will see you on Tuesday when we begin the Abomination Vaults. Not this coming Tuesday or whenever it is. Just watch out. You'll see the alerts coming up for it on YouTube. Time is weird.
Bye-bye.